look at the picture I sent while you're waiting for that to
whilst I'm waiting for
sort
that
itself out.
to think itself. Cool. Untitled album. Yes. Yes. With the blue belts, red belts, red belts.
It's the ghosts grab the
Oh, okay.
they lock onto the directions, so they're all bendy.
Yeah, no, but they look.
They already wanted to fix it.
Yeah, they've already said they're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
But no,
the technical detail that hasn't been fixed yet.
I saw that these would look very blue. Very, very, very blue. Didn't we already comment that ghosts look way more blue than they used to?
That was in the previous thing.
Yeah.
That was in the previous Friday Facts, that they're changing the colour to make it easier to see.
And then we commented that it used to look like that, but we couldn't find any evidence. Even by loading really old versions of Factorio.
Yes.
Talking about blue, how's the car? Sassy only partially killed it. It's now been repaired.
Partially.
Yeah, it's now been repaired. The window now works again, so does... What else did she break?
What did it crash into?
Didn't crash into, the harmonic stabilizer. You know what that is, guys, don't you? Yes? And there was great silence.
It's like a harmonica?
No. Engine has pistons. Pistons go up and down. Pistons don't go round and round. Consequently, car has a force on it that's not symmetrical.
Counterweight.
Yeah, so so it's a giant counterweight that goes on the front of the engine to make sure that the engine doesn't kill itself. It was going before she went to Queensland, and then she did another 12,000 kilometers on the thing that was going. That when it goes, it pops off the front of the engine, and when it goes, the engine instantly disassembles itself. It's alright. We'll just drive it for another 4 months, not an issue. It's not like it's going to be an issue at all.
It's not like it's going to dismantle itself any further. It's already dismantled itself.
No, it's, as long as it's attached, it's fine. But yeah, when it goes, the whole engine explodes whilst you're driving it. Barrows. Oh, want to win again. My time was short. Yes. So that was fixed. What else was there? There was something else. I don't know. I got the invoice here. It was a few $100. Yeah.
Mechanic that actually fix things?
Yeah.
Astonishing.
This mechanic I'm not so sure about. I'm never happy with his work.
Oh yeah, we've just been through this saga.
Yep. But he's next door, so he's convenient.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch CE on YouTube, Cutting Engineering. He's on Aussie too. Does he fix engines? Will he fix mine?
He's up in Queensland, Gold Coast.
It might fix things. It might break them further. Never really can tell with them.
He's more manufacturing than engine repair, but he can do it.
Okay. The thing is, the previous Falcon.
Oh, see, that was the first problem.
We're not going to get into that. The previous car, I fixed everything because I couldn't afford to pay a mechanic. So it would be find a YouTube video and then follow the directions.
Wasn't an Australian built one is the real question.
My original one was. It was from 98.
Because it would explain it if it was.
When they stopped getting made in Australia?
About 10 years ago, I think.
So, Blue is mid-2000s sometime? Mid-2000s? Hey! Thanks, chat, didn't win. Sorry, Rubble, congratulations on being linked to the Barrows with the nuke, which I need to update King of the Hill, because Ozzy sent me a whole list of stuff that none of it I understood. And I've spent all of about 5 seconds in front of the computer this week. It's been great. I want a boom. Well, you can't have a boom until tomorrow when we do Factorio. Alright, so Friday Facts. Is there anything we need to cover? Like, before, afterwards, anything? Have the devs said anything important?
Yeah, I've been through Reddit and the forums, and there's nothing particularly noteworthy. There is some interesting exploits, though.
Oh, okay.
So I found a link to an old Reddit post. If you nuke landfill, you get more pollution absorption.
Yes.
So
yes. Landfill has a absorption factor of 0.
Speaking of all this boom, so the question is, can you mine landfill that's been nuked?
Oh.
Because it changes the tile.
Oh. Okay. And there's no official response from devs yet. Yep.
The other one was, can you trap yourself by placing landfill in front of you, mining it behind you without robots, and then accidentally placing all the landfill because you need a tile in hand to mine?
You don't. You can have a ghost tile in hand.
Yeah, but you can't place it, and you also still can't mine the tiles.
You can mine with a ghost.
Oh, you can actually mine with the ghost.
Yeah, you can mine with if it's on your hotbar and you select it from your hotbar, you can mine with it.
Okay.
Cause Blighter Battles has concrete and bricks automatically put down. And that was one of the things that we started doing. You put bricks on your hotbar and then you could start removing the bricks, also other tiles.
And use it for stuff, activities.
Okay, so I didn't read that section. No. Fundamental blah. Make mining lane for work, code around the logic, mining set up effectively, tile, placing it real instantly, destroy or kill anything that was colliding when that was changed. Generalized all combinations of planning and mine tiles with varying collision mass because they were placing in water world involved touching a lot of systems. Okay. Something happened in the game. Collisions. Back in the 1 point. Whoa. See some evidence of the groundwork for this back in December 2021. We had the check collision with entities property, which was
a feature that someone requested in 2018.
Because you looked at the patch notes for 1.15 and found it had been linked back to something earlier.
Yeah. There was a forum post about it saying check this, and then there was a link to a 2018 post of someone asking for it for a check tiles, and then our seating said if we can find a way to implement it without hitting performance, he'll implement it.
So I wonder if it was implemented for that reason or implemented for this reason. So check collisions with entity. Check. So it's true, check collisions for entities before building or mining the tile. Okay. Okay. Is it true we'll check the collisions with the entities before building or mining the tile? It is a way it's not possible to build or mine the tile. Okay. So I imagine when you nuke something, the nuclear ground effect is going to have this set to... It would have it set to false because it overlaps everything.
Well, the nuclear ground it converts the tile.
But this
I mean, it's no longer
is tile. This is a tile prototype. So yes, for tiles, this would be set to false because it's just going to overwrite whatever's there.
So check collision with entities means that tile checks if it intersects with an entity.
Yeah, before being built or before being placed or mined. So if, for example, using water rather than land, if you're doing a check to see if something exists on the tile that you're about to replace, you couldn't put water in C block over a land tile. Or if you had something underwater, like, for example, overground or in air train tracks that have the water pillar, and assuming a water pillar is different from a land pillar, you couldn't replace the water around the water pillar because this would not allow it. But nukes would have this set to false because it's just going to override everything. And then with 1.2, 2.0 version, blah, 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 it means nuclear tiles would have that default to, well, mining set to false, so you couldn't mine them.
So you can't, yeah, so you can't actually do the check anyway. You can only do the check with mineable tiles.
Yeah. Yeah. So that answers that question. If you nuke something, it's nuked. Bad luck. There is no way to mine it. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, because the tile's been converted to a non-mineable, you can no longer mine it.
Yeah.
Unless there's another parameter being added that tracks what type of tile it is.
Well, all the different tiles have different names, different properties, different names.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's... I can't see that changing. It's the only way I can see it remembering that it was landfill in the first place, but I don't see them changing it.
Like, I've just found scorch mark color. I have no idea we could have different colors for scorch marks.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing either.
Yep. Green scorch marks. Cool. All right. Apart from that, anything else? The dev tracker says nothing, but the dev tracker takes ages to update. I don't know why it's so slow. I haven't looked at anything.
It's probably not allowed to scrape Reddit anymore.
Oh no, it's been scraping Reddit.
No, it's got to be slow at scraping Reddit though.
Yeah.
It's rate limited now.
Yeah. But yeah,
because AI took their gerbs or something.
Yeah. API request. Realize the parts are being placed on landfill tiles. Rubble, yes.
You can only mine landfill, which means water has to be placed there in the first place, so you can't just moat off your whole base, as Kovorak's saying. People talking about creating moats using it, but yeah.
Yes, providing you're playing on the island variant of Factorio map generation.
Yes.
At which point, yes, you can landfill everything to have a bridge across and then decide to non-landfill it because the biters were mean. Because sometimes biters are mean. Who would have thunk it? What do I want? I want to find... Oh, God. Yep, there's a lot of things open. And what? Oh, my God. Oh, Windows.
Oh, you're fighting the line thing. That's why I like... one of the things I like about the audio interface is that Windows can't actually do anything anymore.
It can. It's turn on ducking. That's what it's doing. It's turn on ducking. And it's lowering the volume of everything else.
Oh.
And it's...
Well, actually, I still have the volume mixer, but like it's kind of irrelevant now.
Lower the volume when narrator is speaking. Turn that off. Does that... No. It's hidden in Windows settings somewhere.
It's in the old sound settings.
Sound mixer options.
So you need to go sound control panel. I think it was sound. No, sound settings, not sound control panel. And then you've got to go click on the related settings sound control panel, which is the old sound control panel.
Just get ear trumpet.
No, it gave me problems. It gave me problems. Do nothing. Yep, Windows went and reset everything. No, it's still doing it. Hello? Yep, it's still doing it.
Funny thing is, it's probably something else doing it.
No, it's not. It's Windows.
Because ironically, mine's set to reduce others by 80%, but has never actually done anything.
It was set to 80%. And it shouldn't do shit. Which explains why I've had so many problems balancing the Friday facts.
What is your communication default?
Nothing, I hope.
So in playback, you know how it gives you the list. There's two defaults that can be in that window. There's playback default or Windows default, and then communication default.
There's no communication default.
It's in recording. Sorry, not playback. Playback has output.
Oh, it's
default.
the wrong microphone. That's the levels. And it's still doing it. Okay, so you should be default communications. That's still doing it. And you're still set for default communications. Awesome. Set default communicate. Just recording everything.
I'm pretty sure communication default doesn't actually do anything either.
And it still does it. Hang on. You talk?
Yeah.
Oh, it's doing it when you talk too. Cool!
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a line in or something is doing it.
There's nothing on the line in.
Oh dear.
There's nothing on line in. Properties. Nothing there. Recording.
Are you running the virtual mixer thing, whatever it's called?
Nope.
Voice meter.
Nope.
So why have you got so many line ins?
Huh? What do you mean?
Like, you got a million things in there.
So recording, I have a camera. I have the Go XLR, which will give me the broadcast stream, which is the output after it's been mixed with the microphone, plus the sampler if I want to make samples, which I don't want to make samples. Plus I have the on-board motherboard microphone, plus another microphone, plus Steam's microphone, which...
Why is there a Steam microphone?
Disabled, because it's the mic interface after Steam grabs it. Plus I have the Yeti, and playback, I have video card, monitor plugged into a video card, monitor that's plugged into a video card that it says is unplugged. Awesome. We have the chat microphone, which is the microphone in on the chat channel. We have the game audio, which if I want to put that on a separate channel, but that means every single time I open a game, I have to set it to output to that channel. Pain in the ass. Let's not do that. Music, if I want to have music separately on the mixer. The sampler, if I want to make samples. That's the actual output. Then I have...
Oh, yeah. It's all
monitor, another video card. The actual speakers...
Really back to winner on that one.
Front audio, I believe. We're talking about the other day. The optical out for sound cards. SPAF.
Yeah, the one that doesn't exist anymore.
It actually, no, it's on my motherboard. Turns out the speakers don't have it. Then I have Steam microphone, and then Steam speakers.
Why is that? How will you have those?
And then the Yeti.
Those.
You do. Steam installs speakers and microphone if you install Steam.
No, I don't have them.
No idea. Every single time I've installed Steam, it's done it. I know.
I think it's a bit of a...
Fuck you.
I think it might be a user error.
What happens if I change you to that one? And if I talk in there, oh, that doesn't do anything. Awesome. So it's just on the Helicon. Uh, routing, no. Lighting, no. Cough, sampler, effects, mixer.
So does this thing still actually work, or like?
Yeah, it works fine.
Because some of its features were cloud-based.
None of the features was cloud-based, but they've shut it down. They're no longer developing anything for it.
Yeah. I thought there was something that was cloud-based on it.
Nah.
Unless they patched it out.
No, it's never had anything cloud-based on it.
Because I know someone that had it stopped working. It used to stop working for them every time they had an outage.
You did something very wrong then. That's all the sampling.
There was some effects or something. You know, like sound drops or something.
No.
Wouldn't work.
If they had external sound effects that were coming off web.
Yeah, but they play.
Good.
The samplers play MP3s.
Yeah,
I don't
so
remember
if
what
you
it
had
was
a
now.
web source for the MP3.
Maybe.
That would make sense, but it was like if they couldn't connect their GoXLR account, like stuff wouldn't work.
I don't have a GoXLR account. There's no such thing.
That's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. I know the only issue I've had is
It's possibly something that used to be a thing is not anymore as well, because this was a few years ago now. Like this was 6 months, a year after it first came out.
oh, maybe, I don't know. I didn't buy one when they first came out, and then I bought one later. And it's still doing
Yeah,
it.
the mistake was buying one still.
They were the best at the time. The problem is it sat in a box for 12 months. That was my biggest problem.
I mean, for the longest time, they were the only thing at the time.
Well, that's when I bought it, when it was the only thing.
The AV Media and there's another brand as well that's doing one. I forget who it is.
There were
It's also
options, but they were
considerably better.
very expensive. Very, very,
So-
very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you're talking actual sound gear then.
Yeah, because there wasn't
Well-
anything in between. It's a whole new market segment.
Yeah, there is no reason it should be doing the ducking. At all. Ah! I hate you, Windows. Device properties. Special sound.
Fuck's that?
What did you do? What did the two of you do? Did you find a space worm?
Mm.
Oh, Stream Deck Plus. It's got knobs on it.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was going to replace this, it would be with the Elgato version.
Roadcaster. That's the one.
Yeah,
Even though it's got
Rodecaster did one, but
stupid.
it was also very expensive.
Yeah, it's like $700. Like, and the thing is just covered in different coloured buttons. It's just a mess. But yeah, the Rodecaster and the AV Media thing do a better job now. I came to the conclusion that a Scarlett was equivalent. You just lose the sliders and the effects.
Yes, the Scarlett, but yes, you don't have any sliders on it.
And
yeah.
most of the other features that GoXLR has.
Um,
But to me, it was really the digital input and output was the selling feature.
yeah, it was. So the Go XLR was. It lets you get to a USB from an XLR, which the Scarlett would do prior to that, but also gave you all the sliders and also the routing live. Routing.
The
yes.
routing and the right combination of ins and outs, which is rare. It's hard to get. Like any equivalent mixer, it's like a two channel affair. And it has
then
like a single in and out.
the
with
Rodecaster
USB.
was more expensive and did the same sort of thing, except had lots of lights. And they were not RGB lights, they were just lights. And then they've released the Rode Podcaster? No, the Rode... It's a Rode something. but I want to say Podcaster, but Podcast is the name of the mic. And
Roadcaster Duo.
Duo? I use a
Yeah.
Montu M2 for audio stuff. I don't know what that is, but Google might. The Roadcaster, whatever it is. Yeah. So that's just 2 in and USB out. Yeah.
The only closest equivalent is the Behringer, I think it was XR15, which gives you like 16 in, 16 out USB channels, which is ridiculous.
Not really when you think what it's actually for.
Oh yeah,
The Behringer
what
audio.
It is, but getting that is extremely rare in any kind of audio interface.
No,
Roadcaster
there's
Series?
if you go beyond Behringer, oh god, I can't remember the fucking name anymore.
Whatever. So we have the Caster Duo, and then you have the Caster Pro.
Caster Pro, yes.
Yeah, and the Caster Duo is 2 mics, so designed for a 2-person podcast. And the Pro this is where you get a lot of the functionality that the XLR has, but it's designed for 4 microphones.
It's almost like it's designed for podcasts or something.
It's, yes, 100% designed for podcasters. But you get the functionality that you need or would like with the Go XLR, but you're paying for 4 lots of hardware for 4 microphones, 4 XLR inputs. Which, yes, really upped the price a lot. I don't even know if they had the Rodecaster Duo prior to that. I think it was just the Rodecaster, which had 4 inputs.
I had like a super basic one before that. I've been doing the podcaster thing for a long time. Yeah, the thing that I was meaning was that normally the big audio interfaces, they have like 2 in, 2 out, and then however many what are called DAW channels, DAW, which are specifically, like you can't use those channels. They're specifically only accessible inside like Pro Tools, Logic, and those sorts of programs.
Routing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the things the Rodecaster does is 2 PC inputs.
So I do actually have another interface which is old enough to be Firewire, and it's like 4 in, 4 out, or 6
You
out
still
or
get
something.
Firewire.
Yeah.
Oh, technically yes, but it's Thunderbolt.
No, you still actually get Firewires these days, which is stupid.
I've never actually seen one on a motherboard in years.
In years.
Oh, no, on the audio gear.
Okay. Good.
Oh, on the audio gear.
Audio gear's dated. It always is.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, I forget the brand.
Yeah,
They're still churning out the same thing they've been making for like 15 years now. It's the same box that. I recognize the box because I had to diagnose a PC that used to blue screen every time someone plugged it in.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those.
I guess
boxes.
the data rate was too high.
It was just crap drivers.
So yeah, the advantage of the Rode is it can work very well with multi PCs. So if you have one PC that's capturing a lot of the audio and you want to hook a second one in to do the mixing on, also you can send the data out via the network.
Oh yeah, the Behringer that I mentioned before, that can also be controlled over network. So you can have a little web control panel to control the mixer, which is pretty cool. Because it's meant to be shoved in the rack at the back of a hall.
The reason the Firewire died like that is both the Microsoft driver Windows 8 and no driver for Windows 10. Windows generally releases drivers for things that are proven to keep being supported. Yes.
So Windows 10, you can get the Firewire drivers for most things to work with the Windows 7 driver.
Yeah, you can ram it in there if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's literally go in and add to the compatibility list in the driver.
USB 3 and Thunderbolt pretty much made Firewire obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a few...
Well, USB-C, because Firewire's party trick was bi-directional traffic.
Yeah, it was full 480 megabit or something like that. I don't remember.
It was faster, and you could daisy chain them.
It was fast at daisy chain, and you could get 12 volts out of it. You could get a lot of power out of it.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the power. I used it for hard drives. I don't use it for anything else. All right. We can do a Friday facts.
I use it for hard drives too. Yeah,
Mm.
and Thunderbolt made it definitely made it obsolete. I think there was some security things with it, as technically there was some exploits you could do because of DMA and things that features that it had. Technically,
It's a feature. It's a feature. Hang on. Does that mean these things are now capturing? How do we get aluminium?
Off the island.
Oh, no aluminium asteroids. Okay.
No, I still need to find where we're getting silica. Oh, the rocks.
Quartz?
What the rocks?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Who
Get
who makes it?
navigation yet?
Who
you
makes
still
it?
have to do the FFF.
Well, I just asked, and you were busy wandering around. It's quartz.
Procrastinating, waiting.
It's quartz. You need quartz. Glass, quartz, glass, quartz. I had a bunch of my inventory. That's rock.
See, my mistake was thinking we'd be done by 9:30.
Yes. I had a bunch of quartz. I think you guys turned it into food. All right, fine. Friday facts. Alt tab. Go to. Not background. Done. All right. Confirm. Okay. You good then?
Yep. And I was just looking. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I used to know this stuff about FireWire because I do actually have a lot of FireWire. I had quite a few FireWire devices, and it was kind of annoying. None of them worked on Windows 10, but yeah.
You've had to deal with
Anyway.
it. Yeah.
But moved on.
Moved on. All FireWire is also not packet-based like USB. This makes it best for audio and video processing, but yeah, DMA is what messed up between devices not supporting DMA mapping and Windows with some manufacturers. Not updating drivers for DMA. Remapping was required for Windows 10. Not FireWire. Psh.
Factorio FireWire facts.
Sure. All right. Well, this should be a short one. Hopefully.
But
We'll see.
you jinxed it now.
We'll see. All right. G'day, mate, and welcome to Friday Facts number 385 with Superforce Building, and I have my good friend, the Super Mojo. How you doing, mate?
Hello. I thought you were going to say the FireWire Mojo or something.
No, we're talking about FireWire prior to the Friday Facts. You can always watch the pre and post Friday Facts over on the stream channel with the link somewhere. I don't know, description, pinned comment, something like that. But hi, welcome. Take a seat. Cool. So we have updates from the previous Friday Facts. We're basically covering things that we've covered previously. Yes. So tile building animation showcased the previous Friday Facts is now integrated in the game, and this is how it looks. Thoughts, Mojo?
Looks pretty neat. This is the thing that I think this was the thing that V said that he forgot to include in one of the previous ones.
Yes, he said he forgot to include the animation of it being made because I don't believe it was quite in the game yet.
Yeah, it was. The animation was there, but it wasn't quite ready yet.
Yeah. Look, the animation is cool. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's very generic. Okay, I want to see some variation with how it builds itself out. That's my only request.
It'd be interesting to see what happens if it's connected to another section.
Whether it builds from multiple places at once, I assume it builds
Yeah.
multiple connections at the same time.
And what happens when two of these expanding connections collide?
Or you build two towards one another. Good point. Good point. I want to see variation, but then again, I already know that I'm gonna look at this once and go, "Oh, this is cool. This is amazing," and then never stop to look at it a second time. Yes, it is one of those animations. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I just realized. So,
Yeah.
so the reason why this is drawn the way it is because it doesn't form a closed section, like an island. So it won't
Correct.
actually build if you create an island.
Correct.
Huh.
If you blueprint it out in the middle of nowhere, it won't appear because it needs to come from the main hub out.
Yes.
And then if you deconstruct the connection, all of this falls
Now I
away.
want to know what happens if it goes like this, then turn it into an island. It goes to the last little bit to enclose it. Does it stop?
Huh? Oh, so you want to have it half build and then disconnect
Half build, and then, or not disconnect it, because it'll just instantly destroy. But I mean, close the loop, so you create the hole.
the
in
hole?
the platform.
It should just build.
Will it build or will it stop? Because it's now enclosed and it won't. Because you've seen the previous ones, it stops building. It won't build it until the entire hole is filled.
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find some way to break it when it's released. I'm sure of it. Sure of it.
Surely, yes.
Yes, either that or they're going to listen to the front end facts that we're doing, and then they go, yeah, we should probably look at that before they get their hands on it. Yeah, one or the other. So we have the cool building animation, and yeah, I want to see variation. That's really it. Yeah, that's
As I say, it is a work in progress and things to improve, but it's just showing progress.
Yep. Of course, being the engine doesn't actually mean it's completely done. It's still work in progress. Some things we'd like to improve with it, but showcasing a bit of progress week by week. It's also part of the fun. It is. That's why we do the Friday Facts. Then we have our Super Force building with Super Mojo. In the recent Friday Facts number 380, we talk about the possibility of building ghost enemies on top of ghost tiles, so you don't have to wait for landfill or space platforms that are finished to build on top of them. It's nice, but obviously just a preparation for the main feature we all miss so much with the Super Force building. So Control plus Shift plus left click equals Super Force building, which is what we already have to force build things.
Well, it's shift click to force building. Now we have super force building, adding control to it on top of it.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
That mean if we go control shift L, we get super duper force building eventually?
Okay. Yes, Mojo. In the beginning, we had the normal way of building blueprints, which me and Mojo will both remember, with anything blocking the way of the blueprint from being built. So when you first went to a mining outpost, back in my day, when we had to walk 15 miles uphill to school in both directions, you would have to...
Mining to the iron patch.
To the iron patch, yep. You would have to get a decon planner, scrape the whole area that needed to be scraped to make sure there were no trees, no rocks, nothing else in the way, or at least they're marked for decon, before putting your blueprint on top. And then probably go around and double check all the edges in case you missed a bit where there'd be a stupid tree sitting in the way. So therefore you couldn't, put down that bit of belt, that miner, whatever it happened to be, because that tree hadn't been marked for decon. Well, that was fixed with the shift build, and now we have a control shift build, which will put down landfill by default from the looks of this. Also, I'm noticing that right below the power pole, there's one tile that's not occupied, so therefore it doesn't get landfill.
Yes.
Yeah. So
forcing landfill down and it's auto-placing landfill where it needs to be and leaving that one hole there just to annoy you.
Just to annoy you. So when you're trying to run through the build or the whatever you put down in the middle of the sea, you're going to find there's one little tile of landfill that you will see that you're going to run into and stop running. Yep, it's going to be annoying. So yes, they did update Factorio back in the day so you could hold down shift to, force the blueprint down and mark all the trees and rocks for deconstruction. And now we can do control shift left click, which I gotta say, is there ever going to be a reason for you to not hold down control whilst you're forcing down a blueprint?
I mean, sometimes you don't want to paste a blueprint if there's something blocking it. Sometimes.
I'm just trying to think, like, even if I'm building wall defenses right up against a lake, I'm like, no, I probably want to landfill a good section of that to make sure that, the biters don't attack the edge of the wall the weak part of the wall where there's water beside it. I want it filled out into the sea, lake, whatever it happens to be, a little bit to make sure that it's doubly defended, because that's where the biters are going to attack the most, at the edges. Not destroying cliffs, maybe, yeah. I don't know.
They can get marked for decon and then the bots come blow it up. Or you manually blow them up.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an exception, but it's automated.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yes, we do have a super duper duper force build, make it so, which I'm a fan of. I'm definitely a fan of. After playing C-Block for a year now, I'm definitely a fan of. Since that time, it's happened frequently here and there, we felt that still wasn't enough. So space space platform building was the
Space platform?
Yeah, space platform. Yep. Was the last push where we couldn't ignore this feature anymore, and we had to implement it. With landfall, there's an occasional problem, as water is not everywhere, but with space platform building, it's always a problem. Yes, and we still don't have any sort of animation for how things appear on a space platform. There's
Yes,
still
currently
hope
they
for
just appear.
Yep, there's still hope for the Factorio Scorpius.
The Insidious Factorius.
Yep. There's still hope. So once we already had Super Force building mode, it was natural to include other properties of it. The mindset behind Super Force building is you want to force the blueprint no matter what, like building rails through solar field. So this is how we made it behave. Thoughts?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's a very contrived application.
I
It
don't
did
know.
actually give me the idea of a map which generates a solar field, a tiled solar field, as you explore.
Oh, okay. So you're just building through solar whether you like it or not.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you're just building solar.
Okay. Look, I have definitely had to run a train track through the middle of a solar field, and I've just used indiscriminately a decon planer, and I've just removed everything between track 1 and track 2. And then if I've cared about the solar, I've blueprinted it back down afterwards. But I don't often build through builds with large things like train tracks. Yeah.
It's not something specific. I mean, unless it's specifically replacing a build, but even then, the remnants of the previous one's going to be in the way.
You're gonna be here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. So it's nice for those that build lots of solar fields and really want to run their train tracks through the middle of it. Yep. But then we have manual super force building. So we're only speaking about blueprints at this point, but once super force building worked its way into our muscle memory, we started to try and use it when building enemies manually. Similar how you build ghosts manually with the shift modifier, and get rid of trees in a way automatically. Great English again. So we added super force building as a direct build shortcut, not a specialized building modifier.
So this one is actually more useful, as you can see.
So... But we're just blueprinting things down by holding control and... Yeah, control and shift.
And then placing down the walls and make the laser turrets get out of the way. How many times have you wanted something to get out of the way when you're placing a wall? Because it's like off by one.
Yeah.
It's always off by one.
Yeah, everything's always off by one. Everything's off by one. You just move the whole base. The whole base from the start... all over left
just
one tile.
Move it over one tile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, it's something I would just expect. I wouldn't be expected ever to be limited to just blueprints. I would expect it to be automatically linked to ghost building as well. So I'm glad it is. And yes, I can see this being used an awful lot. And again, I could definitely see this is going to be a situation where you're just going to automatically hold control and shift to do every single building of ghosts. Every single building of ghosts. I can't see any reason you're going to hold just shift and not shift and control. Except for the rare occasion of, okay, you might want to not destroy cliffs because you're going to use them as part of the defense. But if you hold down shift, they're still going to get marked for decon.
And I also question your sanity if you don't want to get rid of cliffs.
Cliffs are very, very good defense in a wall.
I mean, yeah, if you're using them as defense, yes. Otherwise, in that case, you are actually like, you're not going to be forced blueprinting around them.
Yeah, but also, why did you turn on cliffs in the first place? Yes. Okay, so build interaction.
That's also under question.
Once we got used to this, as part of the start of a marriage, we had Superforce building over belts, and then we have to manually fix things right after. If you're a regular reader, you'll know that the word manual is always an indication of change. It is generally. We've been doing this for FFF enough that it's not always a guarantee, but yeah, we'll continue with that. So now when you super force build over belts, it automatically places undergrounds, which means the spaghetti is going to intensify a lot.
Which is always good, isn't it?
Depends. There is some spaghetti you're like, ooh, that's that probably shouldn't be there. Yeah, like a radar in the middle of a copper line. Yeah.
Surely you want a radar in the middle of a copper line.
Look, I'm used to building assemblers like. Oh, look, there's everything there, I think, to make solar panels, radars in the bus. Yep, I would probably just make radars right there in the middle of the bus.
I also question drawing out a lubricant pipe without any undergrounds.
Yeah. Well, that was a question that had come up in the pre-Friday Facts. What happens with underground pipes? Well, straight pipes. If you have a long set of straight pipes and you force blueprint over something, is it going to actually add the undergrounds finally? Because you broke the pipe?
That is a good question because I don't know. Because we haven't seen it do pipe to grounds
No.
so far, have we?
No. Pipe to grounds is not something that the Factorio belt logic currently does. But in this clip here where we run the 5 belts through the 6 belt main bus, you did mention that when you're force ghosting blueprints or belts down that they're all changed at the wrong angle, and the devs already said we're gonna fix it.
They're fixing it.
They're gonna
Yeah, that
fix
was
it.
a picture that someone grabbed from, I think it was
From the
Reddit. They happened to spot it in the video. And you didn't
Yeah.
actually see it as it going through, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a technical issue
It's a
that
technical
they're
issue.
fixing.
Well, they've finally fixed the technical issue of straight pipes not connecting to one another when ghosted, so it's on the list. There's just one they're fixing prior to releasing things. Yep. This is going to be very bad for spaghetti. I can definitely see a number of spaghetti bases getting much worse.
Spaghetti intensifies.
Yeah. Okay. Mining landfill. Landfill's always been a little bit tricky. As it stands, it kind of breaks the fundamental symmetry of base building, in that everything you build can be undone. Any mistake can be erased without judgment. But with landfill, one wrong click and it's there forever, and that has caused so much pain.
It's there until you do /editor.
Yeah, it's true. But like, I've built something, I've landfilled out, and then just one misclick and it's moved out one tile. I'm like, okay, fine, I gotta redo the whole thing, make it all one tile longer, and then I guarantee I slip by one tile again. So now I just ghost everything. I ghost everything from map view, and dead straight line's never a problem. So
doing nuclear, in particular, one wrong move and the whole thing's ruined, and that's where the /editor comes from. 'Cause it's a lot easier to just fix it than in the editor than try and work around it.
Yeah. So it's been long on our wish list to make mining landfill work, but the code and logic around building and mining were not set up effectively for it. One major problem is that tile placement permanently placement removal would instantly and uncompromisingly destroy or kill anything that was colliding with it when it was changed. Additionally, mining landfill is a specific case, but making the system generalized for all combinations of placing mining tiles with varying collision masks, for example, a placeholder water mod. Placeholder water mod. Wonder if we're going to be able to place water in the future. Okay, would involve touching a lot of systems.
Not likely.
Building, mining, blueprints, upgrades to deconstruction. With Superforce building, the problem of nowhere back when building landfill areas even more dangerous and liable to misclicks. So we knew we had to make mining landfill happen. Through hard work and dedication, Roman was able to clean up all the tile building and mining code, handle all the cases of collisions between entities and tiles, make it work really, really nice in an intuitive way. And you even see some evidence of the groundwork for this back in 1.1.5, back in December 2021, where we had the tile prototype, a check collision with entities property, which we've gone and looked up. And it means that it's going to check to see if there's a building on top of the tile before you can mine it.
Yes. And what's actually really interesting, I didn't have the link for it up, is that someone linked a forum post from 2018, someone requesting this interface.
This particular feature. Yeah.
Yes. And the reply was, it will be added, Arsenio replied, it will be added to the game if you can find a way to incorporate it without taking a huge performance hit.
Yeah.
Which means it's very performant.
Or they've optimized the hell out of it.
Yes.
They've had to rewrite a whole section to get things working, and it's taken 3 years since that request, so it's probably fixed.
Very likely.
But it does mean that technically, I guess, maps are going to be larger now, because when you landfill something, you're not just replacing it permanently with landfill. The game now needs to remember that there's water underneath, and what type of water. Because
landfill always knows that there's water underneath, and there's only. That's actually an interesting thought.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
There's different types of water.
There are multiple types of water.
Does it know if it's deep water or shallow water?
Well, it's something that they're now going to have to save somewhere. They're going to have to save that it's either deep water, shallow water, or technically green water. which is the type you could walk
Oh,
through.
yeah, that's the third type. Well, there's actually 4 types of water because there's deep dark green water and shallow green water.
Yeah, they've got a green tint to them. There's green water that you can't walk through and green water that you can walk through.
How do they get rid of those?
No, they're still in the game. They're not. They're not in the game as in they show up randomly during a map generation, but they're still in the game used for the tutorials. Yes.
Yeah, in the demo missions and so on.
Yeah. At the same time, we found out that scorch marks, i.e. nuclear explosions, can technically have a color.
Yes.
Yep.
Speaking of scorch marks, so the question was asked, so there's a thing you can do where, because landfill has no pollution absorption, it's pollution absorption of 0.
Correct.
But if you nuke the landfill and turn it into nuclear fallout, it gains pollution absorption. Half as much as water, but it's better than zero.
It's better than 0. Yeah.
Does that mean you can mine the landfill, which is now nuclear tiles?
No.
The tiles have been replaced.
No, because they're nuclear tiles. You can't mine nuclear tiles. All right? Because the tile has been replaced. Exactly. You're only going to be able to mine landfill, just like you won't be able to mine natural grass. But it does mean that
there's actually, just randomly going back a step, there's actually 6
water
types of water.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's more than even I knew about. But yes, it does mean if you landfill large sections of your base and you want to actually have pollution absorption, go around with nuclear weapons. Although if you concrete, it also has a pollution absorption factor of 0. So concrete and bricks and any other, normal Factorio tiles that we'd use to beautify the base also have a pollution absorption of 0. So you've been warned. Yes, as you slowly concrete the world, the pollution gets worse. Yep. So landfill underneath player wasn't marked for deconstruction. In general, landfill can't be mined if there is something on top, but typically anything's on top, machines, furnaces, belts will also be marked for deconstruction anyway, so they'll be removed and allow the landfill to be mined. So you're gonna have to, I'm thinking in reverse. So if you're gonna have like a 3-tile gap around the player, or a 3-tile gap around the player. If you mark a whole section of the map that you've landfilled in, built a, nuclear power plant or whatever, and then decon the whole lot, it's going to pick up all the antis, then pick up all the landfill underneath. I'm wondering if we could get a filtered decon planner that just removes landfill that's not currently being used.
That would be interesting.
Or whether we're going to have to blueprint the whole thing down, and then with the landfill, just cover the whole area with landfill, then copy the thing, deconstruct all the landfill and all the things on top of it, and then paste it back down. At which point, if we go back to our little solar panel with our missing patch of water, we're going to end up with that, where it's going to have missing patches wherever there's belts or wherever there's a gap in the blueprint, and that tile doesn't have to be filled in with landfill, whether it'll leave the gaps that way. Because I'm going to say I prefer to build with all the tiles there, and then when I'm finished, especially on something like C block where you go through thousands and thousands and thousands of tiles worth of landfill, be able to recover my landfill that I don't need afterwards. Yes. But it's great that we can now mine landfill. I'm waiting for the time when somebody decons a large area and then runs their player through it as the bots are trying to pick it up and accidentally drowns. I also hope that when a player drowns, that their armor and contents of their body also disappear because it drowned. It seems fitting.
They get eaten by a kraken, swallowed a whole, and never to be seen again.
Yeah, it's how we repopulate the sea and the fish. Yep, by throwing players in there. Yep. And with Superforce building, it was only natural to make the interaction with landfill work in the opposite direction. So now, as long as you've landfilled the area beforehand, therefore it's water underneath, you can put pumps down on landfill. Makes stepping down steam, engine or reactor setup so much nicer and less worrisome. So yes, putting down nuclear reactor build, you can landfill first and then put down the reactor build afterwards. Although technically, as long as the reactor has the pumps connected to the reactor as part of the blueprint, you could just force build the whole reactor build with the pumps.
With the landfill already there and the pumps there and everything.
Yep, it'll place the pumps that are as required, the landfill as required, and build the whole thing for you. So yeah, more reactors at sea. I can definitely see that much happening.
So equally as many as normal, really.
Yeah, well, it's going to be easier. It's going to be easier. That's probably the most important thing.
If anything, it makes oil bases in the ocean easier. It means you can jam the pumps right at the whatever it needs the pump.
Oh, that's true. 'Cause especially when you go mega base oil, water throughput becomes a real big issue.
Especially on the sulfur and the acid builds.
Yeah. Oh, not just that. Just even the oil refineries. After you put, what is it, like 12 beacons around them or something with prod mods, they drink water.
Oh, yeah. Those have both water and oil throughput issues, though.
Yeah, but the oil is a given. The water is not one you always think about.
Yeah, that is true. Because the oil, you're always ramming it down there, adding pumps, and then you always forget the water.
Yeah.
The acid, because it's just so much water.
Yeah, it's a lot of water normally, and then when you add the prod mods and the beacons and everything else, you can have one of those go through 600 water per tick, per second, per...
Something like that, yeah.
Ridiculous. It's a lot of water.
Pump.
And... Oh, Mojo, thought for you. Currently, if we put down a pump in landfill, so if we put down a pump and then landfill the area around it, we end up with a... It's not called an offshore pump anymore. It's called a underground pump. No, a land pump.
Water well pump, I think.
Water well pump. Does that mean that's still an option? Can we still do that?
Didn't they remove the water well pump thing or something?
I don't think so.
Because the landfish has been removed, sadly.
The landfish was removed, yes. Yes,
that's very sad.
They were all finally killed off.
Day.
But yeah, I wonder if we can still landfill around them, because there are definitely builds where it's important to have land on both sides of that pump for stuff like oil builds, where you need to have the oil pipes on either side of it to make sure that, your refineries work. Yeah. And beacons and all the other things. So I really hope they don't break that, because that would very much change builds. Also, a side note, and we've both had conversations about this and arguments about this currently, but we only have 2 pumps have alt mode on. I don't know why.
Yeah, originally I thought it was because it doesn't show on every tile, but no, pumps should show
on every tile.
Their output no matter what.
Yep. So two of them don't get water. They're pumping seaweed. And with that, I think that's it for the Friday Facts. It's a relatively short one.
Yep, there's not much to talk about here. It's just a show and tell.
Yeah, it's a show and tell. And I'll wait for next week.
To answer the question, yes, water well pumps are still a thing.
Yeah, of course they are. I told you they were. I know this thing.
For some reason, I was thinking that it had gone, but no, I don't know why. I think it was a long week. It was a very long week.
It has been a long week. All right, well, with that said and done, as always, we're going to leave this Friday Facts here. We're going to invite you next week for more Friday Facts, which may be delayed because Mojo's going to go do things in real life. I don't know. I don't get it either. Something grass. But...
Kids these days.
Yep. All things these days. And then
kids these days and their funny phrases.
Grass is a funny phase. Yep. Avoid it.
Phase, yes.
Yep. All right, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the next Friday Facts, next video, whatever it happens to be. All right, we're out. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Brilliant. I hadn't even thought about that. Thank you. All right, back to actual captures. Let's do that one, and let's unmute said game. And who I need to thank? I need to thank Neon G up for hitting the follow button. Also, Lord Smith, welcome back for 8 months. Thank you, mate. You caught in the middle of a Friday Facts, which means no overloads, no, nothing. But Mojo, whilst I have you here, because I meant to ask you last week, Twitch now allows you to stream.
They removed it
to YouTube at the same time. Your thoughts? Do you have thoughts?
Go nuts, I say.
Go nuts, I say. That doesn't help. All right, hang on. Change rooms. Okay, go nuts. That's as descriptive as you're gonna get.
There's no downsides.
The only downside is they've said you can't have the chats interact with one another.
Yeah, you can't show the chat from the other one, but you can call them out.
Well, they've said
I need to check the specific wording. Someone actually figured this out, and it was like you can.
I need to mute the second Echo.
Yes. The way I read it, somebody made an awesome vehicle. Does this one work? Or whatever. The way I read it is you can't have a bot move the chat from one to the other. That's how I read it.
And Twitch has to be the primary.
Well, Twitch is Twitch, and Twitch has demands, as always. But the way I read it is you can't have, chat. You can't have a bot, because we've seen it before where if you type something in YouTube chat, it would get posted to, a bot would say, blah, blah, said this in YouTube chat. And the same thing would happen if you type something in Twitch. It would have the same bot would say, blah, blah, said this in Twitch chat. So I think that's a no-go. But I have a stream overlay that has Twitch chat on it. So I don't see there's any reason why I can't have a stream overlay that has YouTube chat on it, right?
If you have something that can aggregate them and you don't know the difference, that would also work.
I think that'd be difficult.
Could you put them send them both to Discord?
Huh?
Could you send both chats to a Discord channel?
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
read them from Discord.
Yeah.
I guess so. We don't have any oxygen, right? Oh no, maybe we do. I don't know. I don't know if this oxygen barrier is actually working. Oxygen tanks. Maybe.
Wonder how long it'll take for Stream Elements or Stream Labs to incorporate both chats into their overlay.
They have them both working separately. But one thing I've noticed is both Streamlabs and Stream Elements are getting worse, just outright.
Yeah, they're just worse overall.
I've
I've been wanting to dump Stream Labs for a while. I'm just too lazy though.
I thought I dumped it, and then turned out that I hadn't. I half set things up with Stream Elements. And I'm not... all the controversy's done and everything else, so I'm not in a real rush to dump them because it's just a hassle to restart of everything. And one thing that I can't move across...
Stream Elements is difficult to set up as well because they make everything browser-based and browser source. So instead of having layers that you insert, you build the entire thing in their thing.
You build the entire thing inside either one web page or multiple web pages. We have ads. So Chatty needs to support YouTube chat as well now. As far as I know, Chatty maybe does. I don't know.
So effectively an IRC client.
So maybe it doesn't. Oh, spacecraft. It's right there. Okay. I clicked the button. It's totally your fault. So we have more asteroid collectors, and these are collecting...
Trying to collect just coal.
Oh, we're trying to boost just coal collection, are we?
Yeah.
Are they working for
Everything.
just finding coal?
They find a bit of other things, but it goes into a box.
Okay. So, yes, they find mainly coal. Okay. Yeah. So I am looking at possibly in the not too distant future setting up dual streams. So today's stream will be 2 streams. I'll have one for just Twitch and then a second one for both. Because the second one will start on time. This one, we all know starts definitely on time, right? Never.
Sure.
Never late. Never late. Always starts on time. Oh, there's 1,000 iron plate in there. Okay, they've been busy. Hey, look, I am never late to my own streams. Just because they start at a time that Fox is perfectly comfortable getting out of bed.
Not hard, it's just the caffeine intake needs to rise.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's an odd time to get out of bed. Start a stream. So rotate that way, that one. This is definitely going to fix the power problem, right?
You got a whole bunch of, well, no, because the belt kind of backed up as well.
The belt? What belt?
The one that just has ore on it, it's kind of backed up if you look at the chest at the first set.
Why is it backed up on?
Well, look at the chest coming out of the... Where on above?
Where
Look at
fucking
this
above?
chest.
Hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. Yep.
There's an awful lot in that.
There's only a little bit.
Yeah, because I cleared it out not that long ago.
Okay, so look at these two. There's a little bit in there, and there's a little bit in there. Yeah, it's like... What am I doing? I'm doing 6. And it's like 5.5. 5.5 per belt for a smelter. It does mean it's going to need a new smelter, right? That's fine. I'm going to build a new smelter. Bolo! You are... Sorry, Lynch the Barrows. Lynch the Barrows. I want to say King of the Hill. I've got so used to saying King of the Hill. Yeah, Lynch the Barrows. Congratulations, mate. What the fuck? Oh, we've started adding more solar panels. Cool. That was the plan. So we finally found a source of gold that actually works.
Yeah. Well, we've had one for a while. It's just a case of getting it back here is a little bit of a pain.
Efficiency,
It's a go
80%. Nope, we still don't have a pallet.
Hell no.
I can
I
make
got
3 solar panels.
300,
Okay, a little bit
300
more.
gold from this trip.
Okay, so we're getting there slowly. Alright, so... Oh, crap. I may have double things. Oh, yeah, that's 6. That's another... Okay, maths is hard. Maths is hard. It's fine.
Just rip it all up and make a proper thing to one road to a smelter. We've got the resources to build a nice big platform for you. You could even do it multi-layered.
Yeah, I'm not doing multiplayer. Okay.
Multi-layer's easy.
Select everything. I was putting it over there because that way I could share the power connection. That's why I was doing it. Oh, so many things into the great scanning tool. Cool. So, Mojo, have you tried this one?
Astro Colony?
Uh-huh.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Alright, well, you're no help, as always.
Because I heard it was kind of crap.
Oh, okay. That's sort of helpful.
The early version was kind of.
Okay.
I mean, it does still seem kind of crap, but...
It falls under the early access and they're working on it. Now, how long do they take to work on it and actually get something is a whole different question.
The thing about early access and they're working on it, I've heard that a lot over the years.
Are you saying that they didn't work on it? They didn't improve? These other games that you've looked at?
I was gonna say just chuck it to the same belt as the other ones.
No, because the belt
mean,
has the
there's
throughput limit.
plenty of examples of...
Oh no, I
where
was
it
talking
didn't
to
really
Bilbo.
improve.
Plenty of examples of things that have worked perfectly as intended?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
A prison architect.
Hey, that was sold for thousands of dollars. Morning. Need to talk to you. A phone call might be easy. Oh, God. Can you not just come down here and talk to me? You're actually home for a change.
You should make JD walk up there to talk to you.
Oh, no. Get that. She calls me on the telephone, okay? To ask me to come up to the house so she can talk to me. Like, you're using a device that makes long-distance communication to talk to me, to ask me to come to the building to talk to me.
Because you'll prefer walkie-talkies instead.
No!
That's
You
short
use
range.
the long-distance communication device. Oh, God, that's all round backward. The long-distance communication device to talk to me, to ask me to come to talk to you. Just.
Yeah, so obviously you want walkie-talkies instead, because that's a short-range communication device.
Sure.
Not really.
Shut up, JD. I can in 5 minutes. Great, 5 minutes it is. It's going to be one of the children has done something. I guarantee it.
Mojo, you can get quite happily from Australia to America with those little handheld units these days.
With the right, well, aren't they web-based or something?
No, not web-based.
IP-based.
You can do it via web, but you don't need to.
Okay.
But don't
It's not one of the
those
children,
need
it's a
specialised
cat. Oh,
antennas?
God. Oh, God. I already paid for one emergency vet this week. I've already paid for one after hours vet
You're off
this
by
week.
one.
Yeah, shut up. Not off by one. It was intentional. It was made that way. Which was the
Intentional
input?
by one.
Yeah, totally intentional by one.
So now every time you do it, it's no longer an off by one. It's I intended to do that by one.
Yeah, guaranteed. You're about to pay for it. Oh my god.
Sounds like you got some walking to do.
No, she's gonna come and talk to me. No, we had go to bed child who now lives with her mother. Called me up Thursday night. Because she was worried about a cat. And it was a Thursday night after hours. After hours visit to the after hours vet, which is always cheap. Yes. So that was fun, and $3,000. And Sassy's now saying that there's a second one. And the cat waited till a Saturday to get sick. Not do it during, a weekday.
At least it's not.
When the
At
vets
least it's
are
not after hours on a weekday.
no, it's after hours on a weekend. It's still after hours. Yep. Still 100% after hours. Still 100% expensive. Can I not build over space? Thank you.
Apparently not.
No? Okay.
It's an interesting thing I learned many years ago is there's an after hours everything.
There is.
There's everything for after hours.
It's more expensive on a
out-
weekend. Oh, fuck off, dear. In the politest way, fuck off. I don't need to know it's more expensive on a weekend. Don't tell me this sort of shit. I don't want to know.
Why did you get an army of cats?
I didn't!
I
She
can
keeps
imagine.
bringing them home! Okay, so if I deal with water right here, then it becomes not a problem. And then if I deal with carbon somewhere, like with a power plant, or a box. So the current power
Well,
build...
Carbon wants to come into the machine right beside you to make carbon fiber.
But the
So
carbon...
to close out the anecdote,
Yep.
just in case anyone was vaguely interesting, as it turns out there is a 24-hour fuse shop.
Fuse
Fuses,
shop.
yes.
What?
Yeah.
So when needed a fuse, well, this wasn't me, but when they needed a fuse at 1 a.m., yep, there's a shop for it. They make you pay for the privilege, but it's there.
God. Okay.
I think it was like $5,000 or $6,000.
Okay.
I mean, this was like normally a $150 fuse.
Okay.
Wasn't a small thing. Wasn't like your little car fuse.
No, it was obviously an industrial fuse that needed a now solution.
It was a uh-oh, this thing blew and we need a new one urgently.
Okay. This is why we have spares. We have spares sitting on a shelf doing nothing.
Yes.
It's cheaper to have a spare sitting on a shelf doing nothing than it is to get one on a weekend. Yup. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, after hours everything is bad. Very bad.
Yep.
Okay. What? Carbon, huh?
Also, it's time for me to go back to bed or something.
Let him in. Think of the fire effects. I will get a video edited, uploaded, blah, 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 eventually, soon.
I'll try and remember to look at it when it uploads this time.
That's cool. I try and
I'll
remember
try and
to
look at the.
I try and remember to look at them myself, and I haven't had time.
I try and remember to look at the comments and things and see what people say.
I don't know if I've looked at the last one. If I haven't liked the comments, I probably haven't. And I had successfully uploaded one video this week because it was a fucked week. Yep.
Yep. And I'll figure out what to do for next week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've got life.
Things. Yes.
What, are you happy to tell everybody what you're being dragged off to do?
Oh, it's just a birthday thing
Okay. It's just about
in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's actually further away than I thought.
Oh, even better.
Yep.
And then I believe you said you were being convinced to be the chauffeur, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So it's even longer again.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yes. A late Friday night Friday Facts, or a late Friday Facts?
Yeah, it'll probably be like a Saturday night.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. You send me information, Discord, when you have information. We'll go from there. All right. Smeltery thingies.
All right, I shall see ya.
Later, mate.